Hi guys, welcome back to Curvy. You haven't seen me for a while. Actually got a bit of a sore throat today, so I really should have recorded this yesterday. I had my hair done yesterday. I thought I would just check in because it's been a while since I spoke to you guys and done like a update video, I guess. Firstly, I had my hair done yesterday. It's like I've had the purple put back on the top, and it just looks beautiful. I love my hairdresser. She does such an amazing job all the time. Yeah, I woke up today and my throat is killing me. It's like I don't know, it's like I'm swallowing razor blades. I have drink, so I might have to just keep drinking every now and again. But I wanted to check in with you guys because obviously at the end of July I got COVID. I've been double jabbed since May. I was really being ignorant. Not that I wasn't masking, I wasn't like social distancing and stuff, but because I was, you know, I wasn't ignorant that way. But I was ignorant to think that I wouldn't catch it and that I would be fine. So we were looking forward to the end of school, looking forward to summer holidays and getting and doing stuff with the kids, you know. I had so many plans that I wanted to do with the kids this summer holiday, but it all went like to crap basically, because the day after the middle one finished school, she caught COVID, and she said, she's like, oh, you know, my chest hurts. And I was like, oh, does it? And she was like, yeah. She said, I don't know if it's just like hay fever, and because they were cutting the fields at the time as well, some of the fields around where we live, and we were like, oh, maybe it's just that. But then Friday, that was the Friday, and then on the Saturday, she is just, because she went on a sleepover, she said, oh, can you come pick me up? I'm not really feeling great, you know, my chest is still hurting, but I want to see my friend, and, you know, we'll do it like that. And I was like, oh, that's fine. Late Saturday evening, I was like, right, okay. I said, let's take a test, like a lateral flow testing. And so we took the test and it was positive. So I booked her straight in for a drive-through PCR test the next day. And I was fine. First thing in the morning, I was fine. I took her for her test. We had lunch and I was fine. On the way back, I was like, oh, you know, I'm a bit achy. Maybe I've been sitting in the car for too long. So I got out of the car, and then I sat at home and I was like, I'm really not feeling like it's like you have the flu. Like when your whole body feels too heavy and you're trying to get on with things, but you just can't. And I'm like, oh, this is not very nice. So I ordered myself a PCR test because I'd done a test Saturday as well, and that was negative. So I ordered myself a PCR test to come in the post. I thought, I'm not going to drive anywhere just in case. Took a lateral flow, and it was like the faintest of faint lines. And that was the Sunday. So then the next day, on the Monday, I took another one, and it was a really strong line that I had COVID. And I was like, oh, great. You know, that's how quickly it can just hit you. So really never take feeling well as for granted, because now all the side effects and stuff I have, it's just, it's not nice, you know. And I wouldn't wish this on like anyone. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. So I keep looking at my hair thinking, does that look right? So yeah, the Tuesday I sent my test away because obviously it arrived on the Monday. I sent it away on the Tuesday. Sent it away Monday, sorry. And I got the results back Tuesday to say yes, I was positive. And I don't know how to describe it. I was like, oh, you know, it'll be fine, you know, it's just it just feels like you've got the flu, like a really bad case of the flu. Now, I get a flu jab every year. So I thought, oh, you know, it's just like the flu season catching up because it didn't have one last year, you know. Oh. No, I'm not an ignorant person, but I took my whole illness for... I just felt it was... I was like, oh, you know, I don't want to get any help because I'll be all right. But I shouldn't have been like that. Even going online, because this was on the Friday, my breathing got quite bad. And Lee was like, your breathing's really bad. You know, I'm quite worried. You need to get some help. I'm like, no, it's fine. I'll be better in the morning. I wasn't. I was worse. I was worse in the morning. And I was sitting there. And I couldn't breathe. And I was sitting there, I was like... Even now, just talking to you guys, I'm getting breathless, so I have to keep stopping. So it's a long recovery process as well, guys. Don't get me wrong. It's a very long process, and the hot weather, especially like today, it's a hot day today. It's not nice at all, and it makes my chest feel a lot tighter. So I went onto the website, onto the NHS, and thought, all right, well, let's see what they suggest. Went through all this 111 stuff online, because I thought, well, I don't want to bother them on the phone. So there was me putting in my symptoms, and they said, you need to get an ambulance. And I'm like, no, I don't need an ambulance. I'm not going to bother people with an ambulance. So I rang 111 and I was like, well, so no, sorry, hang on. Backtrack a step. Lee came down because he wasn't feeling well either. He'd got it as well. So he came down and he goes, well, what did they say? And I said, well, it says I need an ambulance, but I'm all right. Bearing in mind, I was really ill. Like I say, I couldn't breathe. My whole body was aching. And to make you laugh, I felt so sick. And there was a stage where I literally, I had to get up, and I didn't have no time to get a bowl, anything. I just had to stand up. I went out into the back garden because it was the quickest place, and I was sick. Like, I couldn't, there was nothing coming up because I wasn't eating, but I was actually physically sick because I was so ill. And I came back in, I was like, yeah, see, I'm better now. I tend to, when I'm poorly, I tend to just be like, oh, it's okay, you know, people are worse off than me, I'm all right. But I've got to stop being like that, because health is important, and when you haven't got health, there's a lot could go wrong. So 111 called me. Sorry, it hurts when I yawn too. 111 told me I needed an ambulance and that they were sending one out. Now, they said it would be there within 20 minutes. It took an hour, and I was getting worried. I was like, oh, you know, maybe there's more important people than me. You know, there's obviously been an emergency. These people had come an hour away from where I am to get me and take me to hospital, because there was no other ambulances available. And when they got there, they obviously asked about medication. They asked how I was feeling. They took my temperature, which was at nearly 40 degrees, 39.8 I believe it was. And they went, you've just won yourself a blue ride ambulance to the hospital. And I'm like, oh, yay. So I had to, they put oxygen on me straight away, because my oxygen had gone down to like 86%. Excuse me. And I really was struggling to breathe. They say that the normal oxygen level is between 95 and 100, obviously. Asthmatic people are between 90 and 95. Like I say, mine went down to 86. And it had also, like earlier in the morning, it was 84. So it gone up a little bit, so that's a bonus. And that's all I was focusing on. I was like, oh yeah, it's gone up a bit. But they took me in the ambulance and they gave, oh my God, they tried to put fluids inside me. So instead of me drinking, they were going to put it in like through a drip. This woman went straight through my vein and I had a bruise on my arm. I had a bruise right here on my arm. Then she tried on my hand. So, I mean, you can see how good my veins are. She put it straight through my vein there and it'd gone right through as well. So I had a massive bruise there. She made me have a bruise. She's like, right, I'm not doing it anymore. Just wanted to try and speed things up a little bit. I was like, fine, don't do it anymore then. I was still on the oxygen. I literally could hear, I think it was a bit of a blur. I don't remember much from the ambulance ride, apart from nearly falling off the bed once, I think, which was quite funny. I mean, I managed to hobble into the ambulance, and I remember obviously her stabbing me, and then I think it was just a bit of a blur from then. I remember hearing the siren going off quite a few times. And when we got there, they put me into this room, and I was in mismatching pajamas. I had my trainers on. I looked like a freaking state. And then this lovely person, I mean, he was lovely to talk to, don't get me wrong. And this person came in and was like, right, I need to take your oxygen level that's in your blood. I was like, right, that's fine, you know. I was nervous because I don't like needles, and when, obviously, with my PTSD, it's a hospital-related thing. I freaked out. I was like, I know you need to do it. I said, but you need to give me time to build up to it so I can just be like, right, you know, do it. That's fine. But I did get to that point, but I was literally holding his hand. I literally had his hand like that. One hand was like, well, his wrist, I think it was, because obviously he needed his hand. But I was literally holding his wrist, and I was like, when I was in hospital with Emily, they had to do that, and it's like literally they have to go in. I don't know if you can see my wrist there, but they have to go in like right here on the bone, right next to the bone, and go straight into an artery, and it hurt. I'm not gonna lie, it hurt a lot. To begin with, when the needle went in it, I didn't feel anything, but when he was he was wiggling it a bit, because obviously he didn't get it in the right position, and I was like, that's hurting, it's really hurting. And he was like, I'm really sorry, it's my fault, I'm just trying to get it in the right place. That's not focused on me, is it? Hang on, try that. So he done that, and it was all good, and you know, so I had that done, and then they put like a drip in they put like the, what's it called, cannula thing, so that they could get fluids and stuff in me on there. And then this woman came in, x-rayed my chest, told me I had a start of pneumonia. And I'm like, oh great, marvellous, that's just what I need. Now, I am usually the well person of the house. I was like, oh, I'm not going to get COVID that bad. It won't be me, it'll be Lee, because Lee is like, shocking. So I never ever thought it was going to be me that ended up in hospital. They gave me a nebulizer of this stuff to help me breathe. But yes, yeah, I'm always the healthy one. I just didn't think it was going to be me that was going to be so poorly with COVID. They gave, I said that they'd given me a mask with the nebulizer, and I was like, please don't put it tight on my face. So at this point I was literally freaking out. My heart was going, I couldn't breathe anyway, but she was like, you have to calm down. You have to try and, you know, take slower breaths rather than quicker ones. And I'm like, well, that's fine, but I'm freaking out a little bit here. And she was really understanding, but I said, you know, can you just have it loosely on there? I can't have it tight. And she was like, yeah, that's not a problem. So I sat there for about half an hour with this thing going on, making this awful noise. And I tried closing my eyes, but I couldn't, you know, because it was just so noisy. And I got cold, so I asked for a blanket or something. And then they asked if I was okay, and I said, can I have a drink, because I'm really thirsty. I really wasn't very well, you know. So the chest x-ray was done. They said, right, we're just waiting for a bed up the ward. Now it was a special isolation ward. They had, everyone was in their own little rooms. They had their own sink in there. We had our own sink in the room, a TV, a computer as well, I think. But first couple of days, I just was like, no, I'm not. I didn't have the energy to watch TV, let alone do anything else. What did I do? I literally got into bed and I wanted to sleep, but they had to check my SATs, obviously. So they checked my blood pressure, they checked my breathing, they checked my oxygen. Still at like 80 something, I couldn't remember. My temperature was high. They're like, you really have to, you know, you have to keep drinking, it'll bring your temperature down. Have you had paracetamol? So then next couple of days was basically the same. They just kept an eye on me. They were talking about antibiotics, then not talking about antibiotics, and then they were talking about this new drug. So a few days later they gave me this new drug to help quicken up the recovery. And it worked, because a few days later I was out. I was still poorly, but I was out of hospital at least, I guess, and I got to see my girls. Which is a good thing, you know. I missed them and I really needed. I was texting them the whole time, and being away from them was really, really hard. It was like the hardest thing. And then I'd say they gave me this drug through the drip thing, and I'm just like, okay, what happened was, I don't know, it wasn't like this miracle thing. I think obviously they tried to get me out sooner than I should have come out, because I was still not getting my oxygen in me. I still couldn't breathe. And I was just like, I'm tired and I need to get better, you know? But I wasn't getting any better. So then I think I came out on the Thursday. By the next Thursday I wanted to see the doctor, and I was like, please, I need to see the doctor. So what they're doing now is they make you have a phone call, and then you can see the doctor if they say so. My doctor said to me, you're lucky that you're still here. If you hadn't have been double jabbed, you wouldn't be here right now. And I'll be like, oh great, thank you for that. At least the one thing I am grateful for in all of this is that I am still here for my girls. You know, I could have easily been on a ventilator and not been there, you know. I could have, that could be me, you know. I don't want to look back anymore. I want to look forward. And it makes you think about what's important in life. Definitely. Now, Lee was like, sorry, I had a call. Now where was I? Oh yeah. So the doctor phoned me and said that she wanted to see me just to make sure that I was okay and check my chest and stuff out. And she sent me for a blood test and x-rays because I was still not well. And although when I'm sitting down my oxygen level is fine, when I move around it goes down, and that's when I struggle. That's really when I'm struggling. So the lasting symptoms at the moment is that I can't really do much when, you know, I can't walk around much. I can't do what I used to do, you know. I can't even walk the dog, you know. She's been brilliant, bless her. And if I cough, then she's right there in my face asking if I'm all right. Well, not asking, but, you know, licking my face. She's like, are you okay? Are you okay? And I'm, you know, I just give her a fuss and reassure her. But, you know, even today, it's like, what, 11:30 on, what day is it, Tuesday? And I'm on my 6th week now, and I still am struggling. I'm exhausted. I mean, the heat don't help, but I am so physically exhausted. And I just don't, that's all I can tell you. The side effects are that you get exhausted, that you can't breathe when you walk around, and it's just so difficult to try and... It's difficult to try and describe, because I feel like I've got the lungs of an 80-year-old that has smoked 100 fags every day, like cigarettes, sorry, every day for their whole life. Now, my mum smoked when I was younger, all the time. And at that time, you know, that was the time where it didn't really matter if you smoked in front of your children. It was only when I was an adult that she started smoking outside. Now, I've never smoked. I have drunk, but I only ever got really drunk once when I was 18. When when you start out and you think, oh. But I've never done drugs either, by the way. My stance in life is that why would you willingly put something into your body that is going to make you ill? Smoking gives you cancer. You can get throat, lung, all sorts of problems, you know. Why would you willingly let that amount of tar go into one of the most important organs in your body? I just don't understand why people do it. And the same with the whole vape thing as well, because that's water, right? Yes, it's better than putting the tar in there, but you're still willingly putting water into your lungs. Would you willingly drown yourself? No. Alcohol, you're willingly poisoning yourself. You can get alcohol poisoning. You could get addicted, like, to anything, like cigarettes, like alcohol, drugs, even like I'm addicted to food, you know. I'm curvy, I'm addicted to food, you know. That is just as disastrous. So although I'm not a drinker, I'm not a smoker, I'm not a drug taker, I do love food. I mean, who doesn't? But willingly putting these poisonous products into your body, you only get one body in your life. You need to look after it. And that's what this has taught me, that you really need to look after your body. So if you don't take anything else from this, then please take my words of please look after your body. And I'm not just saying it. I'm getting quite emotional. You can see even now I'm struggling 6 weeks on that I still can't breathe properly. I have to use a mobility scooter to go around the village because I can't walk. I can't even walk my daughter to school. I'm hoping once the winter comes and the weather is not as hot, I'll be able to get out and about and I'll be able to walk a bit more, but I physically can't at the moment, and I am so devastated that I can't do that. I can't walk my child to school. As a parent, that is what you need to do. Yesterday, I said to her, I'm so sorry that I am not walking right now. I said, I'm sorry you have to put up with me being in this scooter. And she's like, Mum, I don't mind. You're still taking me. And it doesn't bother me that you're in the scooter. And that meant so much to me because it was just, oh, sorry, I'm getting really emotional. For her to say that she didn't care what people think. Why aren't I like that? Most of the time, at the moment, I am, because I'm just like, it doesn't really matter, you know. I have to be in the scooter because I have to be in the scooter. But at the same time, there's a few judgy people around, and I guess you don't know what people are going through, okay? You really don't know what people go through. So, please, if you see someone struggling, please be kind. Please help them if they need help. Or ask them if they need help. Just be kind, be courteous, be the good person that I know is inside you. Whether you show it every day or whether you show it now and again, just be kind and be loving, and hopefully, I was hoping to be a lot better by the end of September, and although I am a lot better than what I was, I am still struggling a lot, and I don't like that. But yes, guys, I'm going to leave it there because I'm getting quite emotional. Keep an eye out for extra videos, for just for anything, you know. Just, I've got Minecraft, well, the Minecraft video I think I'm going to be posting before this one, but yeah. Stay lovely, guys, and if you're not already, please subscribe to this channel, because I think this is going to be like my main channel from now on, because I can't really craft very often. So I probably will have to go to posting once a month on my craft channel, and maybe a little bit more on this one. So this is probably going to be my main channel now. But please support by subscribing, liking the video, commenting. If you know any investors that want to invest in my craft business, I would love to hear from them, because I'm struggling so much right now. I've got so many ideas, but I'm going to try saying goodbye again because I got interrupted. So yeah, if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel, give the video a big like, comment anything you want to know, if there's anything you want to see as well. I did have some really good ideas on Instagram. A lot of people gave me, they just want to see gaming, and we'll do a pup date as well soon. She is huge. I'll put a picture up here, and you will see how big she's gotten, but she's proper looking German Shepherd like. Bless her. She's got a lot more growing to do. She's all legs and ears at the moment, so still looks like a very big puppy. But we'll do that. So yeah, guys, subscribe, comment, like, everything. I love you all. And share around so I can get some more subscribers. Bye, guys.